people do debt consolidation, and they take 5 or 6 cards, a medical bill, whatever bill, these handful of bills they got laying around, and they go get a second mortgage on their house, or they go get a little unsecured loan at the credit union, and they do debt consolidation. Or worse than that, they go down to one of these rip-off finance storefront places, and they do debt consolidation and pay 26% interest. So we consolidated a bunch of 8, 9, 10% interest rates to 26. To start with, that would be mathematically stupid, but at least I've just got one payment, and this is how our brains work, right? And so here's the problem, though. That doesn't get you out of debt. You just moved it. You cannot borrow your way out of debt. Here's the numbers. 88% of the people that do debt consolidation continue in the negative habit pattern of overspending, not having a budget, and they go further into debt because they don't change their habits. And they feel like, oh, I took care of that debt. And you know how I know you feel that way? Is because out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks, the Bible says. And we say things like, oh, I paid off my debt with a debt consolidation loan. No, you didn't, you duper. You moved your debt. You didn't pay off anything. You just moved it. But the fact that you say, I paid off my... See, that tells you that you felt like you did something. Now, Laura's not in that category. It's a whole different thing. But this discussion I'm having now resides in the same place in your brain that balance transfers on a credit card to a zero interest live. It feels like you did something. And you didn't. No big deal. Whoop-dee. The secret sauce is changing the person in your mirror. And you go, that's it. I was a child before. I thought like a child. I walked like a child and acted like a child. I'm not a child anymore. And now I'm going to be a grown freaking person. And I am going to actually address these issues. Now, you could be 62 when you're saying that. You could be 19 when you're saying that. I don't care. It's not a chronological thing. It's an emotional maturity thing. Adults devise a plan and follow it. Children do what feels good. Personal finance is 80% behavior. It's only 20% head knowledge. You cannot do what feels good with money and be anything but broke because you're a child. One way we know you're mature, one definition of emotional maturity is the ability to delay pleasure. No discipline seems pleasant at the time, but it yields a harvest of righteousness. The ability to delay pleasure for a greater good is the sign that you have become, my child, a grown-up. And I meet 57-year-olds who cannot make a decision to delay pleasure. And so they're still a child, an old wrinkled child, but they're still a child. I'm 58, so shut up, okay? So, but I mean, really. And sometimes I'm still that way, a little, not with money stuff, but with other stuff. But the ability to delay pleasure for a greater good. The ability to delay pleasure for a greater good. Adults devise a plan and follow it. No farmer walks out to the field and looks at the dirt and says, where's my corn? Farmers are grown-ups. They understand cause and effect. They understand that what you plant, you will reap. You will reap what you sow. What you plant is what's going to come out of the ground. When they plant corn, they don't walk out there and go, where's my beans? They understand cause and effect. When they plant corn, they don't walk out there and go, why is this corn puny when they didn't put any fertilizer on it? They know it's got to be fertilized. And they don't walk out there and look at their field full of weeds and wonder why it did not yield a bumper crop. They know they have to kill the weeds. You have to till your crop. It is work. And they take a blank dirt field and scratch rows in it with a tractor and a plow and put little seeds in the ground, all with the expectation that sometime next year I'm going to make some money off of that. See, that's the ability to delay pleasure. They're doing work today that they don't benefit from today. They benefit later. That's emotional maturity. Adults devise a plan and follow it. Children do what feels good. You know, the fact that we used to be in an agrarian culture in the U.S. and that most people grew up on the farm at least is no longer true is hurting us because we don't have the ability to look into the future and have vision anymore.